Gavin Topp here. Want to say a massive welcome to Troy Smith. He's just a champion bloke, a husband, a father, a man with a dream, with a mission on the Sunshine Coast here in Australia, but originally from the bush. Mate, welcome.
Thanks, Gavin.
And mate, can I ask you, prior to the Man Alive experience, our 12-month mentorship, mate, what was life like? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Mate, it was quite different to now. Hey, I hope you kept some of those early videos. They'll be fun to look back at. Mate, I'd lived a life of underachievement. I'd ticked a few boxes, but I just never felt like I was in alignment with what I should have been doing. I was expected to take on the farm as the son of a farmer, and I tried for years to do that, and for one reason or another, it was part burnout, which probably comes from not being on purpose, on mission, and not knowing how to ask for help properly. I ended up leaving those properties, and then almost like having a divorce and then marrying another woman the same. I bought another farm, repeated that cycle in growing passion fruit on the coast here instead of cotton out west. Same result, burned out again. And I just started thinking there's something properly wrong with me, I'm a flawed person. I'd been seeking help for depression, and I'd taken medication for many years. And so, I was just bouncing along. I think I remember saying to you when I first met you that I just want to thrive, not just survive. And all I was doing was surviving. And one of my moments was when I realised that the kids were starting to feel this as my kids were becoming adults. They were starting to get this confusion that I'd felt, and I nearly could have given up on myself and just played a safe innings, but I had to work this out for the sake of the kids, and I've been such a beneficiary too.
And I suppose that's the whole thing, isn't it? Like maybe in a lot of people's eyes, they'll say, "Man, Troy, he's on fire. He's doing great things. He's comfortable. He's got a great family." But you knew there was more.
Yeah, much more. Well, not only that, I was deeply unhappy. So, and that just poisons every relationship.
So, mate, what caught your attention with the Man Alive experience?
Well, I think most fellas see it through the Facebook, but I had a personal friend here on the coast that had done your 10-week a 10-week program. When was that? Late 2021. And we caught up for lunch one day, and he told me about you, and he said he's an ex-boxer, and there's something about it. I had one of those reactions where instantly I had like an adrenaline rush, and I've talked to you about this before, that I've been avoiding. It's this great regret of mine that I pulled the pin on this martial arts that I was doing as a late teenager. And I just knew I was going to have to face this fear of mine of getting in the ring and getting out of my comfort zone. And I just knew straight away. So then I looked you up and watched I joined the men's advice group. I think it was probably 5 months I sat on that, knowing I needed to join, knowing that as soon as I talked to you, I'd join. And anyway, I procrastinated and put it off for long enough, and we finally chatted. It was a no-brainer. I was deeply committed straight away, and I've stayed so for 11 months now. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and that's amazing, mate. 11 months in. I mean, man, from my, I suppose, position looking, mate, you've had some ups, some downs, some in-betweens. You've I remember just the other day you said you were cursing me under your, under your breath. I mean, what has the last 11 months been like? Because, I mean, for people that are maybe hearing us speak about the Man Alive experience for the first time, I believe there's something unique. There's a purpose, there's a passion, there's a mission inside every man. I mean, what did you think when you heard me talking like that?
Yeah, what did I think? I sensed, I knew there was a lot more in me, but I didn't know what it looked like. Now it's as clear as a bell, and it was always there, but the process has teased that out, thankfully, and everyone's going, how could you not see that? It's been so obvious, but I think we can be our own worst enemy there. But one of the things I really want to communicate to people, like it might look like I'm comfortable here, but I also spent half an hour before signing on here pacing nervously, and I'm anxious doing this sort of thing. But part of what we do in this group is get out of our comfort zone. We do things anyway, even though we're feeling that fear. And I just had a great example of it only a week ago, where since I've set this training company up, and the last step was I designed the program. The last step was to start asking people for money and setting goals. And it was this massive block in me, and I was terrified, and I nearly wanted to just pull the pin on the whole thing. And that's when I was cursing your name. I was like, damn it, if I'd never met Gavin Topp, I wouldn't be feeling this way right now. And so it happens to all of us. I'm sure it happens to you. You just we don't notice it so much, but that's just to be human, isn't it? And the way I pushed through that last week after cursing your name and thinking about quitting was because during the whole process, one of the key lessons is that we do hard things. A real man does hard things, is tested, has to be tested to know they're enough. And so then I was able to say to myself, I will be okay. I do hard things. I've faced tests, and I'll face another one. And it got me through. But so early in the 11 months, I was very open to working on myself because I'd been to enough clinical psychologists over the years, and I'd never had a real breakthrough, but I'd always been helped a bit, and I knew that the answer was in work, journaling, self-work, admitting your flaws, if you want to call them that, limiting beliefs, paradigm. So I was open to that. So I kind of hit the ground running, and I set a few oaths to have a minimum effort. So even when I was really busy working, driving machines, there was a minimum I did every week, and I don't think I've missed a single one of those targets. And just slowly, there was breakthroughs where, like I described about last week, where the resistance was huge and you felt like disappearing and going down, but they seemed to just precede the big growth moment. And so it was resistance, breakthrough, and then on a new level, come to a new resistance. I was hoping that was the last one, but I don't think it is.
And I suppose, mate, in a business sense, because you've been able to create a business. You've been able to create something that there's a need. And tell us, how did you get to that place?
Isn't that interesting? It's, mate, when I was at my lowest, we'd sold our second farm and we'd just moved, and I was just looking for a job. Give me X dollars an hour and leave me alone. I'll do a job. I got 20 years of that in me, and then I'll retire with a caravan and a four-wheel drive. My brother's still got the cotton farms, and he said, "Come out and drive a cotton picker if you're looking for work." And so I did, and I was just trying to do my job, but there was always a young fella working with me. There was always other machines, and I started. I was leaving them alone, watching them flail around and have trouble getting a lot less done. And and I just couldn't help myself. I had to just start every morning. We'd get there, and I'd just give him a few tips on some higher level operator, and then we'd talk through the day. Once I started opening up, their productivity got so much better, but their mental well-being got so much better. They were coming to work relaxed, and they weren't finishing the day stressed. It was such a thrill, and so he had me do some training at another site too. But anyway, second year, so just early 2022, I went and drove cotton harvesters again. And my 18-year-old nephew, was my wingman. And I got such a thrill out of mentoring him. I finally got to be the man that I wanted at his age. And I could just see that what he was getting from me was going to improve his life. And the whole district needs this. And so I just got so inspired. I started talking to people about, not just driving one machine for the rest of my life, but spreading this this training through the rural districts for the sake of raising the I call it healthy, vibrant rural communities. And it's not too big a thing to say that that's what you can do with proper training. It reduces the stress. Everyone's better, and I get to deliver this well-being message that that I love of yours, that I agree with so wholeheartedly. And one of the interesting things was I nearly would have done it. I've always pictured kind of a not-for-profit in rural mental well-being. I think it was Lloyd. He said, "The more you pay attention." It might have been you.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is I do reckon I've got a bigger platform now coming to farms as a paid trainer than if I'd said, "I'm free, come out and I'll deliver this message," just the wellbeing message. But the productivity message pays for itself 10 times over. And the rest of it comes in there. So the trainers are getting trained. The younger people are getting this, and just so excited, man.
And I suppose for people that are listening, and by the way, can we leave Troy a comment? Can we encourage this bloke? Because like I said, he was nervous. He was pacing for half an hour before we started this, before we pressed record. But this is the whole idea that there's a purpose, there's a mission. And one of the, particularly when we're going through the Man Alive experience, we talk about qualifying that purpose, that mission. And one of the questions is, do others benefit from who I'm becoming, from what I'm doing, from this mission? And mate, that's just, and I can see it in your face. And that's why, like even a while back, every time we talked about helping young men or helping men in general get home safely from work,
that's rule number one.
More productivity means you're adding to their family financially, you're adding to their family with their mental health. Goodness me, you light up when you start talking like that. So this is amazing, mate, just to watch it. And then the fact that, like, for example, man, your services are valued and people paying money for you to deliver it, which is just you benefit, they benefit, everyone benefits.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's great. It's how it's meant to be.
My oath. And your example of it being online too, like that's where it's going. I've got North America in my sights. And it's all doable with this wonderful age of connectivity. And
that's right. Well, there's so many men around the world in farming communities that feel like they're on their own. I mean, there's men in cities that feel like they're on their own. There's so many men in general, but like you said, we can reach men. There's going to be so many men going to watch this. And in fact, if you know somebody who needs to hear this message, can you share it and tag people in this? For goodness sake, it just might save somebody's life.
Yeah, good call. I don't know where it's going next. It's
going everywhere.
It's real skills. It's Real Skills Ag Training. You can find me on Facebook, and And it's starting with the John Deere CP 770 cotton harvester, but it's going to become a more generalised training the trainer.
Can I ask? Can you put that link in the comments, please?
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah, great. Hey, we always need to be upskilling, but mate, I mean, overall, we can keep talking. I want to keep listening, but overall, mate, I suppose there's going to be a lot of men with a mission inside them, but not know how it can happen, or sense that maybe they're looking for that retirement and they're only young. You know, I don't know. They're looking to play it safe. I mean, what would you say to those men that are going to see this and think, man, what can I do? There's got to be something. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say that you've just got to keep looking. It will appear if you keep looking. One of these latest books I'm listening to talks about the striving to find your mission is actually the growth. It's not just finding it. The striving is so important. Yeah. And one of the things that has to happen, it's not just a academic course, this one. We're not just taking notes, comprehending and moving on. The progress is in the work, and sometimes it seems like we're, we think that someone's doing really well. They're often posting, and you can think, well, that's because they're in a good place. But I say, I'm not doing the work because I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay because I'm doing the work.
That's
and
right.
There's just no shortcut. There's no way around that. So it's not just a matter of listening to it and understanding it. It has to be applied. And I still hear Janae's voice the day I signed up. She says, and Troy, may I suggest you trust the process?
There you go.
I hear it often, and this process does work. It's a matter of surrendering to it and trusting it and doing the work. That's the final ingredient.
And mate, because I mean, for people that are watching and maybe not sure, what is this Man Alive experience, this mentorship? Mate, what would be a highlight, do you think? Is it the portal videos? Is it the Zoom calls? I mean, is it the group? Is it the accountability groups?
Yeah.
What's been a highlight for you? Is it the weekend here on the Gold Coast?
Yeah, it's definitely all of them, and obviously, but the Zoom call is the icing, I think. That was even when I was doing 14-hour days on the harvester, I made sure I was just going to make Monday. It was Monday at the time, Zoom.
Yeah.
Just wake up that bit early. So there was a not negotiable of do the Zoom, watch the Kajabi, post one video, and comment a few comments. Yeah. And I've managed that every week. The getting in person at the Gold Coast was definitely a breakthrough. To me, it's if you can get to the next one in May, you really should move hell and high water to get there. Yeah. That in-person validation exercise was I think life-changing for me and for everyone else that experienced it. But like you said, it was kind of the glue to all of these components. It's still a great product without getting here for the men that are overseas and won't make it to Australia within the year. But it's a big thing to get face to face. It's another level.
Yeah. Mate, we've already got men, and that's it. We were saying, when is it? Because we've got men come from the US, from Canada, from the UK, from Ireland. I mean, we're changing the world.
It's working. We really are. Yeah.
And mate, it's and can I say it's because of you and blokes like you that do the work. You know, you've heard me say many times, and for everyone listening, this is about we're actually here to inspire men everywhere by doing that. Their wives, their children, their communities, everyone benefits. So, mate, want to say thank you, mate.
Thank you. And part of why I'm doing the work is because of the other group of men that are doing the work. When I don't feel like it, one of them pops up and and away I go again. So I've never been a real networker, but this is an amazing network that's going on, and it's just growing stronger and stronger for me. Yeah, I'm finally thriving.
You're thriving, mate. You're thriving, and you've committed to year 2 as well. So if you've made so much progress, mate, you're that pumped and so much in you. You started year 2 before you even did you couldn't wait to get going in your 11 months, and you've jumped a month.
Yeah. I was pleased to be for the start of that. So
and mate, finishing on this. Last words. There's going to be people that are going, whoa, what's going on? What do you got something? Give us a nugget.
Well, okay. This whole thing is about the value of coaching. I'm now selling coaching. I buy coaching and I'm selling coaching. This experience was probably the formation of it. I was snow skiing and as an old farmer, had learnt to surf. I just loved speed. I was hurtling down the slopes, but really unco, crashing heaps, trying to twist the body to make it turn. Anyway, we got lessons for the kids as an example in this. I wouldn't have got a lesson for myself, but got lessons for the kids. And our mate just said, Alpine standard stance, mate, just face your shoulders to the bottom of the hill, not this way and that way. And it just revolutionised my trip. I was just having so much more fun, and I just went, right, I'm going to seek coaching in every area of my life that I'm not currently rated 10 out of 10. And it was a couple of years ago. It took me a little while, but this is part of that, and even my business is now. So this is the value of coaching and mentorship, and you've been an amazing coach, Gav.
Oh, thank you, mate. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
No, awesome. All right, hey everyone, can we leave a comment, share this? Let's inspire each other. Tag some men in this. All right, over and out.
Thanks, Gav.